recently one of you guys asked how we got the house we got and how we got a house this square footage with a yard, all of that in a nice neighborhood. And so now we're gonna break it down for you guys and answer that question. When we were looking to buy our house, the first thing we did was narrow down and decide on a location. And for us, the location included multiple different factors, which is the resale value. Because we wanted to make sure that if we ever wanted to resell our house, that it would maintain its value and hopefully increase in value after we renovated it, and then of course just over time when that area was built up. So the area we chose was in a safe location. Didn't, obviously crime and all that has to be a low, most people want to live in a low crime area. There were schools nearby because that always helps with resale value. There were amenities nearby, and what I mean by that is like grocery stores, hospitals, things like that. Those are always good things to have nearby, not like next door necessarily, but close enough.
We also wanted to be close to, for Airbnb, for if we wanted to Airbnb this place out, like close to the silos, close to where everything happens in the city. And that played another part in it, because we weren't going into it thinking, yeah, this is gonna be our forever home. We went into it thinking like, okay, how are we gonna leverage this home to get what we want later, or how can we leverage it to make passive income? So if you're thinking about buying a home, resale value is key, because what if you don't want to be there after 3 years? You're gonna want to sell it quick if or you want a buyer. Big thing, we didn't want a house that backed up into a dang busy road. Another thing, we didn't want our house to be on a corner lot. Those are a few big ones that went into our thought process of buying this home.
We knew it was either going to be a long-term rental or an Airbnb. So thinking about that, in fact, taking that into thought, we were like, okay, we want it to be close enough to, like, we have multiple things that people would want at Airbnb, but also close enough that if a family wanted to rent this house out, it would be a desirable location too.
We weren't looking for a 1950s home. No. And that was a good thing. Courtney pointed that out. I'm like, that's right. We didn't go into looking for a 1950s home. Yeah. We kind of stumbled upon it.
We had a price point that we wanted to stay within, like this dollar amount to this dollar amount. And I came across this house, just like, we constantly, every day we're looking on Zillow, sending each other houses. And I was like, you know what, this looks like a good size. The area looks decent. It's close to enough different things, and I just thought it was cute. It had some character because it's from or built in the 50s. Yeah. Of course, that comes with its other things that are not so great.
That y'all saw in the other videos. Yeah.
Lots of other videos about that. And in the area that we live, most of the houses are older and they have either been renovated or in the process, or they're just kind of sitting and they're old. Anywhere from the 20s or even in the 10s. Yeah. All the way to obviously now there's newer builds.
That was kind of like our mindset going into buying our home. Yes, square footage played a big role, location played a big role, resale value. But just not letting our eyes get bigger than our wallets.
Staying with our budget.
Staying on our budget, even if because we could have gotten a bigger house, but I knew moving to a new state, not having family as a support system, not having really any knowledge of who lives here, what's going on.
And not having jobs.
And not having jobs. We knew, okay, we don't want to get over our heads too much or too fast. Just because this is a house that, it checked all our boxes. So we just wanted a house with good bones and was in our price range, and we stuck with our guns with that.
Which the biggest part of our price range was that we wanted to just pay cash.
Yes. So we were fortunate enough to be able to pay cash. So that's what we stayed with. We didn't go any higher than what we wanted to spend. This was kind of like our journey with buying our first home. And we want to help you guys get into your first home. And we'll help you as much as we can, as best as we can, but we're not experts or anything like that. Yeah. But if you were sitting in front of us right now, we would tell you, let's say you had a question like, how do I get my first home? Or how do I qualify for first-time home buyer?
Few steps?
The first step I would say is make sure your debt, income, job, and credit is on point. So by debt, we mean low.
Yeah.
Low to none. No high car payment. No high credit card bills. No like going on random trips.
Because you'll hear when you go to, because the first thing you have to do to actually even put an offer in for a house is you're going to have to get pre-approved by a lender. Yep. And you will hear over and over again your debt to income ratio. You will hear that term over and over. They obviously want your debt to be way lower than your income, which is just common sense, but also not, I feel, to a lot of people.
And another big thing, qualification now is way different than 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
2019, 2018, I qualified having one job. I qualified. I think I was making like
on his own,
$60K or something like that at the time. It was my first job out of college. I qualified for $375,000, which baffles me to this day, because I'm like, when we looked at what we qualified for, now I'm like, what the heck?
He didn't have a lot of credit history either, because all he had was you were paying your car off.
Yeah, I had a car. That's it. And like I said, this is why we're saying what we're saying. I had a car payment. So everything we were saying is because what we experienced. Yeah. So going from that to this, it feels so much better.
It will make your buying process a lot easier. Yeah. Yes, it may take you a little longer to get to the actual buying process, because maybe you need to pay off some debt, or just, maybe you're going to get a raise and you want to wait until you get that raise. Or maybe you're fresh out of college and you are waiting to get your like big boy, big girl job, whatever. But it will make your life a lot easier. It will be way less stressful if you lower your debt or get rid of some of those debts. Yes, it's common to have a car payment or have a little bit of a credit card payment, but as long as they're reasonable, because a lot of people think, oh, well, it's no big deal. Sure, maybe those payments aren't even that bad. Maybe your actual credit card or car amount are not that much, but when you factor in that payment on top of your mortgage payment, your utilities, home insurance, your property taxes, it starts to pile up real fast. So that's why we always tell people that ask us to, and we remind ourselves to keep those costs low, because in the long run you'll be happy. Like maybe 1 month you lose your job and you're like, crap, I only have a little bit of savings and I still have to pay all my other bills. So you're not stressed out of your mind because you're able to pay your bills, and maybe that's it, but at least you're able to do just that.
Now couples, you guys actually have the advantage because you guys have a dual income and y'all can leverage that. Long as the other couple or the other person isn't the anchor, which is bringing down the other person, which was her. She was bringing me down.
What?
But,
no. Don't listen to him. Not true at all.
She is. I was like,
No. But he's telling the truth, though, that if one of you guys, and this is another thing you can do if you are a couple, like you just got married, maybe you're going to buy your house, whatever, that maybe, it happens. One of you has really bad credit for whatever reason. One of you has a ton of debt.
Oh, it was college. I was just going through my phase.
Maybe you have a ton of student loans. I don't know. Whatever it may be, but maybe the other person doesn't. You can try and see what you get pre-approved for together, and then see what you get pre-approved for solo.
Yeah.
And because you can always add them to the...
So if you're really trying to get into your first home, like you're a new couple or you guys just got married or whatever, grind mode and being on point with the income and the credit and all that stuff, it has to be on point, because if it's not, you guys will get an answer that y'all don't want to have, which is, oh, I didn't know that, or oh, we're only qualified for that much. Being in sync. You guys can make $50K each. It don't matter. That's $100,000. You guys, as long as your credit and your debt to income is low, you guys will be comfortable in a comfortable, modest home.
And what
kind of like ours.
What he's kind of trying to say too is, leading up to that point, leading up to all of that and even during that whole process, because it may take you a while to find your house, especially in the market we're in. It's a buyer's market, but like, anyway.
Yeah, I know it's a buy.
Interest rates and stuff make it like not as fun, you know. But what he's also saying is to make it, if it's a priority for you to buy a home, whether it be an investment home or your home to live in for a while, to make it a priority financially.
Yep.
So like he was saying, you know, maybe you don't go out with your friends as often.
At all.
Maybe you eat out once a week instead of
at all
4 times a week. You know, maybe you cut back on little things that you do throughout the month that are not necessary.
Cut back on everything.
Maybe you know, instead of having every single, you know, TV subscription, you only have 2.
Cable.
Whatever it may be. Oh my gosh.
I did a little bit of research. The average credit score in America is 705. So
really?
I'm not, yeah.
I'm surprised it's that high.
705. That's the average credit score in America, right? How do you measure up? Is your credit at 650?
400?
And again, if it's lower than 705, don't be discouraged.
Yeah.
You got FHA, first time home buyer, which allows you to go as low as like I think 550 or 600, something like that.
Yeah.
But so don't be discouraged when you're like, oh well, my credit score isn't high. It don't matter too much, because if you're your first time home buyer, you'll be able to get into something because the banks want you into something. But at a low rate, as well as a low entry point as far as down payment. That's one. The average credit score 705. Now the average down payment a couple puts down on a house is 12%. So that's another thing to look for. It's okay. So how much capital do we have as a couple? Yeah. How much capital do we have as a single person?
And that can play into your like frivolousness, you know.
Yeah.
Instead of going out and getting drinks every weekend with your friends, put that cash that you would have spent into a little savings pocket.
Exactly.
You know, every time you want to go and get coffee, put it in a savings pocket. You know, just little. I would say, like that.
If you really want a house, you're not going to have any life for the next 24 months.
Because that down payment subtracts from whatever that full cost amount is. So if it's $100 and you put down $80, now you only have $20 left. Obviously, no house is $100, but you get what I'm saying.
And out here in Texas, I wanted to give you guys these stats too. The average first-time home buyer puts down 6%. So I went a little step further. I went to Mortgage Calculator, and I'm giving you guys some numbers, okay? I don't know if y'all can see it. We'll put them on the screen. But let's start at a bare minimum $300,000, right? So for a $300,000 house with taxes and fees included, 6% down payment, FHA, you're putting down $18,000. How do you measure up? So if you got $9K right now, all right, now you got to put together a game plan on like, okay, the next year, can I make another $9K with my lifestyle currently? If that's a no, then you're going to have to change some things dramatically. Get rid of, like what Courtney was saying, get rid of subscriptions. Eat ramen noodles. Eat at home. You know, oh, friends, I can't hang out with y'all. Yeah. Anything that, you know, even if you're a married couple or whatever, oh, sorry, we're not going on this vacation, Mom, Dad. I know you want us to go, and I know it's been years, but if you're a man and you're thinking of the future, you're thinking, okay, I need to obtain my first property so I'm secure and I'm not renting and my rent keep going up because you can't control. You don't own it, so the rent you can't control. I
would go about it in a realistic way, though.
Yes.
Don't go crazy to the point that you're stressed out of your mind and it's overwhelming for you. Like I said, there's little ways that add up to a big amount to save money for your down payment. You know, I know not everybody can save $100 a month, maybe not even $50 a month. Put away what little you can every single time. Get a little birthday money, get a little bonus, get some tips at work, put it away, put it in a jar, put it in a savings account. And over time it will grow, and then see what your options are. Like you said, the FHA loan, there's tons of options out there that a lot of people don't know about. I didn't know about when I bought my first home that FHA was even a thing. There are some, you know, different requirements with the house. Like you can't have broken windows, you can't have, I think, cracks, you know, like from foundation stuff. There's certain things, they're not crazy. but and it's understandable why. So just keep that in mind too. But it's another option that gets you in. You don't have to put down 20%.
Yeah.
You don't have to have the best credit score or the biggest paying job.
As long as you have capital, as long as you have at least decent credit, you can pay as low as 3.5%. That's how low it can go for FHA, 3.5%. Yeah. So imagine you can get into your home. Let's do the calculations with that. What's 3.5%?
He's talking about the interest rate.
No, I'm talking about the down payment. The interest rate's going to stay the same. So whatever the market interest rate is, I think it's like 7 something, but 3.5. So for a $300,000 house, you're only putting down $10,500 instead of $18,000. So that makes a huge difference. So now you're in your first home, and let's see your mortgage. Let's see what your monthly payment will be $2,600.
Yeah. And even if you saved more than that, you could put down the minimum, because maybe that house needs a new paint job on the outside, or you need to buy new appliances. You can use that money you saved up for that stuff. There's a ton of different options. Do your research. Obviously, don't just listen to us. Look up other videos too. There's tons out there.
But we're just giving you our perspective on what we would do better if we could do it again.
If it's something you really want, make it a priority.
But if you come into Texas, I'm just letting you know, you'll be able to find a house, a nice house that's probably fairly new, like 2013, 2018, for $350,000. And if you're a couple that makes combined income like $120,000, that's no problem. Like, you guys will be chilling. We hope that helped. If you guys have if we didn't answer questions in this video, that's fine. Comment below. Please comment below your guys' questions, because we want to serve you guys. So it's not just about us putting out funny videos and cute videos. We actually want to help you guys get into your first home, get wherever you guys want to be. And it's not just us. Like, this channel is not just us. We really want to help you guys and just make a difference in your lives. We hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm Ethan.
And I'm Court.
And we are out of here.